Hello, everybody. I didn't do a mic test before this, so hopefully it's working. Okay, it is working. Cool. Welcome to another episode of Radish's Movie Club. Um, Hello, Saps. In this episode, we will be discussing movies. If you've seen any of them, feel free to chime in. I'm going to be talking about the new Black Panther movie, the new Weird Al movie, and then some three older movies. Better Off Dead from 1985, Legally Blonde from 2001, and John Wick from 2014. I watched all those this week, so that is why, or I guess in the past 2 weeks, so that's why I will be discussing these movies. This time I'll stay here and not leave if Hades starts a stream. Okay, cool. Well, if Hades does start a stream, hopefully they are working on the casino. I hear that it's still not finished. SMH. I hired them to build that over a week ago, and it's still not completed. So I should fire them, to be honest. But anyway, so if you don't know how Radish's Movie Club works, usually I just play Fall Guys so you guys have something to look at while I discuss these movies. Feel free to chime in if you have any thoughts about these movies or what I am saying, etc. Also, I'm waiting for Fall Guys to load, which is why... Okay, it is loaded. Let me turn on desktop audio. This button, cool. Start. So, first, as you can see in the bottom left, we will first be discussing the new Black Panther movie, which came out this past weekend. This is the newest Marvel movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the sequel to Black Panther, of course. But of course, I'm sure everyone knows this by now, Chadwick Boseman tragically passed away 2 years ago now. So they were forced to make a Black Panther movie without Black Panther, basically. I mean, I don't know what... It's just a weird situation. Like, they didn't want to just like stop doing Black Panther movies because they have this whole city of Wakanda and all these characters that they can't just leave alone. They didn't want to recast T'Challa because he's such an iconic character, and if it would be dissing his legacy basically if they recast him. So they basically just made a movie without him. He just was doing one part of the casino's roof for like 30 minutes. That's why it's taking so long. Okay. Well, as long as they're getting it done. But yeah. So they made a Black Panther movie without Black Panther, basically. I mean, they still have the suit in it. Obviously, his sister takes up the mantle as Black Panther by the end of the movie, which is cool. But, it's still just a weird situation where it's like, you wish that they didn't have to do this. But what else could they do? But surprisingly, even though T'Challa, the protagonist of this movie, is not in the movie, they surprisingly made it a pretty good movie. Like, I really liked it. The plot is compelling. I was, on the edge of my seat, anticipating what would happen next the whole time. I liked the villain. I liked the characters, the new characters. So there's just a lot to like about this movie. I also think that the acting in this movie is probably some of the best that Marvel has so far. I mean, Marvel has good acting, but they never have like phenomenal acting like you see in more artsy movies. But I think in this movie, actors do like a really good job, especially, they have a lot to work with per se because, all their friend Chadwick Boseman passed away, so I'm sure a lot of the acting was real. All the sad scenes, emotional scenes where they're crying over because the King T'Challa has passed. So it's probably a lot of real acting in there, but that makes it very good. I think very compelling. Angela Bassett, especially, I think her acting is phenomenal, especially that scene where Shuri has been kidnapped, so she's talking about how her entire family is gone. She doesn't know if Shuri's dead, and her son and her husband had both passed at this point. So, yeah, her acting in that scene especially is amazing. And then I also really like Shuri's acting, and basically everybody's acting. Also, by Shuri's acting, I mean Letitia Wright's acting. She's the actress. Just really good acting overall. Namor, who's played by Tenoch Tenoch Huerta. He was really good too, I thought. He was a good villain. Black Panther movies do a really good job at having compelling villains, I think, with like motives that you could almost understand. Like Killmonger in the first movie. You know, what he was doing was obviously bad, but he was doing it for a, I don't want to say noble cause, because he was still trying to go to war with people, but you know, you kind of understood where he was coming from. And they pretty much do the same thing with Namor, in a way. I mean, I think he's a bit less, his motive was a bit less understandable than Killmonger's was, because he just wanted to go to war with the entire surface world because like a few interactions with them. But I do still get where he was coming from, because he was like, because they killed his entire village or something like that. I don't exactly remember. And yeah. Also, I realized I didn't actually say what this movie's about. Usually I first go into a quick summary about the movie's about, but with Marvel movies, it's pretty obvious. Basically, there's superheroes and there's villains. But yeah, so this is about Wakanda is still in mourning over their king's death, of course. And then there's a new threat coming from underwater, who is threatening both Wakanda and the entire surface world, basically, which is Namor and the city of, I forget what the city is called, but it's basically Atlantis. I think in the comics it is Atlantis, but they gave it the more historically accurate name, some Mesoamerican name, because they are a Mesoamerican civilization. But yeah, so I really liked that city, which I wish I remember the name of. It starts with a T. I thought the scene where Shuri and Namor were exploring the city was really well done. And the city itself was beautiful. Cinematography in that scene especially was great. It just looked really cool. I really liked the culture that they seemed to show there. And I also liked the scenes where they were killing people. Because they were really cool. Like the first scene that they show up in, where they do that sonic hypnosis thing on the people on the boat, was really cool. And I think they should have done the sonic hypnosis thing more often, because it was a very overpowered power to have. Right? Like, they can just force anybody to just walk into the water and drown themselves with a song. I don't know why they didn't do that in the final scene, the final fight scene, because that would have easily solved all their problems. But whatever. I just thought it was a really cool power for them to have. They looked cool too. I liked when they were blue. Kind of reminds me of Avatar though, which is weird because there's a new Avatar movie coming out in a month with blue people and also a lot of underwater scenes in it. So that's kind of funny how that played out. Let's see. Acting, I already said, was really good. Lots of emotional scenes. I almost cried a few times. The score is really good, really beautiful score. Some of the best, I think, that Marvel has had. It's a lot of good cinematography, cool shots and stuff. There's a lot less humor in this movie compared to the past couple Marvel movies like Thor, Love and Thunder, and Doctor Strange. Well, I guess Doctor Strange too didn't really have a lot of humor, but a lot of people complain that there's way too much humor in Thor. This movie barely has any, and the scenes that do have humor, I think, are done really well. Like, they made me laugh, but it didn't feel like too much or anything. So, yeah, they definitely did a good job with the humor in this movie, which is most people's main complaint about the MCU. They have way too much humor, is what they say, which I get. I still like the humor. I like to laugh, but I do understand that some scenes should be more serious. So they did a good job with that. Killmonger cameos in this movie in the ancestral plane, which I did not see coming. A lot of people were like saying, what if they bring back Killmonger? But I was like, there's no way they would do that. And they did, but in a different way than I was expecting, which is really cool. And it makes sense too, because they artificially engineered the herb that brings them to the ancestral plane, so it makes sense that Killmonger is there, because he was not technically one of their Or I don't know, because he was evil. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. I don't know how to explain it to make sense, though. But yeah, good movie. I also really liked Ironheart. Riri Williams is her character's name. She's getting a show. This was her introduction to the MCU. I really liked her character. She was kind of just a plot device, but I still think she was a cool character. And I'm excited to see what happens in her show. Also, there's a death in this movie that I did not see coming. The Queen dies. And I found a very interesting parallel, actually. Both the Queen of Asgard and the Queen of Wakanda died protecting a girl that they had just met. Because Queen Ramonda of Wakanda was protecting Riri Williams. And in Thor the Dark World, Queen Frigga dies protecting Jane, who she had just met that day. So that's an interesting parallel between those two civilizations and the queens dying. But yeah, her death was very, very emotional as well. Did not see it coming. I see a lot of people complaining that the runtime of this movie is way too long. Like, it's almost 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, I think. Something like that. People were saying it could have been a lot shorter. But I honestly disagree. I think they used the runtime very well the entire time. There's a few scenes that maybe could have been a bit shorter, but I like that it was longer because it gives more scenes time to breathe, you know, like give the emotional scenes more time to be emotional. Lots of slow-mo, which is done very well. So a movie like this, I think that the long runtime helped. And I'm pretty sure Spider-Man No Way Home was about the same runtime, so I don't know why people are complaining. People also complain that they didn't like Riri Williams, but I really liked her. I thought she was a cool character. Let's see, what else do I have about this movie? I already said the score was really good, cinematography really good. All the technical aspects are honestly really good. The action scenes are really interesting, really fun, I mean. But that's expected from Marvel these days, basically. So, but yeah, I really liked all the action scenes, especially that the one in the middle of the movie where the underwater city attacks Wakanda. I really liked that scene. It was very, very well done. I honestly definitely think this is one of the best Marvel movies of Phase 4. And apparently it's the last movie of Phase 4. Ant-Man 3 is the start of Phase 5, which comes out in February. But yeah, so Phase 4 consists of Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is 7 movies. And also the shows, but I'm not going to count those. I still think Spider-Man No Way Home is my favorite of these movies. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is probably my second favorite of Phase 4. Maybe third, because I really like Shang-Chi as well. And then, so that's the top 3. And then under that would be Thor Love and Thunder. For me, I really like that movie. Probably Eternals, then Doctor Strange. Actually, no, probably Doctor Strange, and then Eternals, and then Black Widow is my least favorite. So that's my ranking of Phase 4. The shows can't rank with the movies, but I'll rank my shows real quick just for lols. Shows are WandaVision. Actually, you know what? I don't feel like ranking them because there's too many. WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki. Yeah, I can't even think of all of them, so I'm not gonna rank them. But yeah, so Wakanda Forever, definitely a good movie. They managed to make a good emotional movie without our beloved protagonist T'Challa. It's a emotional farewell to his character, and also manages to be a good movie without him. And yeah, I think that is all I have to say about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If you have seen the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, obviously. I need to switch my... I'm focusing too hard on Fall Guys. I need to switch my movie. Here. There we go. Okay. What's next on the list? I think it's Better Off Dead. Yeah, Better Off Dead, which is a movie from 1985. Not a very well-known movie, I don't think. But one of my friends, one of my good friends, was recommending it to me for a long time, and it sounded really funny. So I, you know, finally watched it. For some reason, it was just not available to stream for the longest time, like anywhere. It was not available on any streaming service. But randomly, it showed up this month, and I was like, all right, I'm watching it. But it's a movie, basically, it's a really bizarre comedy about a guy who just basically tries to kill himself because his girlfriend broke up with him. And it sounds very gruesome, but it's a funny movie. Like, it's more of a dark humor thing. Yeah, lots of dark humor, and then that's not the entire plot. It's really just like a random, like a not, doesn't really have a plot, like a random, one of those movies where random events happen. I guess the plot you could say is he tries to get his girlfriend back by challenging this dude to a skiing competition, but he's terrible at skiing. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The best way to describe this movie is bizarre. Like, just random stuff happens. A lot of it doesn't make any sense, but that adds to the humor. Sometimes it like is so out of so much, like it doesn't make sense to the point where you're like, why is this in the movie? But sometimes it doesn't make sense and it's funny. Like there's a scene where he's working this burger shop and he brings a burger to life in this Frankenstein parody kind of thing, and then they start singing. The stop motion burger starts singing. It's really a weird scene. Terrible about skiing? Okay, he's definitely not finished. No, he's not. It takes place in America, I think. Pretty sure, yeah. But yeah, so there's just this music video with stop motion burgers singing it. That's not really, it wasn't really that funny to me. Like, it got a chuckle out of me at first, but it went on too long, I think. And then there's these commentators that randomly show up next to him on the road a lot, and they just start commentating on racing him. And it was funny a couple times, but I don't know, it was just also kind of random and goes on too long, doesn't make any sense. But there are some really funny scenes, I thought. Like there's this scene where the antagonist makes fun of the protagonist's best friend, and best friend starts laughing really hard at it because he thought it was hilarious, and then he just keeps showing up. Like they're at a dance and he just keeps showing up by the antagonist and starts like laughing like while he's dancing with the girl. And I think for some reason that just made me laugh really hard. I don't know why, but explaining these jokes it won't make you laugh. But if you watch the movie, I think you'll laugh sometimes at least. I didn't think it was as good or as funny as my friend was saying, but my friend also doesn't really have a good taste in movies. Last movie he recommended to me I did not like at all. It's called Weird Science. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but that movie was not very good. This movie was slightly better than that, I think. But yeah, it just, I don't know, it was kind of random. Kind of reminded me of Ferris Bueller, if you've seen that movie. My roommate disagrees. Ferris Bueller's his favorite movie, so that's why. But like it's just kind of like one of the movies where just random stuff happens, and sometimes that is good for movies. But I think for comedies, usually you need like an actual plot to tie the jokes together. And I guess it kind of has a plot, but not really. So I don't know. Also, I posted this review on my Instagram review page, Todd's Movie Reviews. Follow if you don't. And the skiing location where they filmed it commented on it and was like, this rating seems kind of low, which I thought was funny. It's always funny when like verified places or people comment on my reviews, which doesn't happen very often, but it was funny. But yeah, if you want a movie where you can just like turn off your brain and laugh, then this is definitely a good movie to watch. It was streaming on Showtime, I think, which I have a free trial of right now. I think it's streaming other places now too. But yeah, for the longest time it was just not available anywhere, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because the premise is of him trying to kill himself because his girlfriend broke up with him is too dark. But they make those scenes funny, so I think that it's okay. Acting's pretty good. John Cusack is in it, by the way. I didn't mention that. He's well known. Um, the technical aspects are not that great, except for I guess the stop motion section. I guess is impressive, but it doesn't make any sense, so it doesn't have to be in there. um, yeah, I don't know. I give it a 6 out of 10. So it's funny, but you know, some of the things are like, why is this happening? Also, I always forget, but I always forget to say the ratings, but I gave a 9 out of 10 to Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Um, I still think the original is better because you know it's iconic. But this movie is good too. I also don't think that the original is the best Marvel movie, even though it's rated the highest on Rotten Tomatoes. But it is still definitely one of the best. And Black Panther 2, maybe not one of the best Marvel movies, but you know, still really good. Let's see. Did I have anything else about Better Off Dead though? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Apparently, skiing movies was like a trope for 80s movies. Like a lot of 80s movies are just about skiing for no reason. And my favorite sitcom show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, does a really funny parody episode of these movies. Like they make fun of it, and they even mention how 80s movies are always have that trope. And I think that episode is honestly a better movie than this movie, Better Off Dead itself, which is saying something. Like it's good if you wanna, like I said, just turn off your brain, have something to laugh at, without having to think about it. But besides that, you know, there's nothing really worth watching it for. Like I don't think I would recommend it unless you're into weird movies like that. But yeah, the technical aspects aren't. Oh, I already said that. Yeah, okay. I have notes written down here, by the way, which is why I keep looking down there to see what else I need to say about it. It's a funny movie. It's bizarre. 6 out of 10, etc. So, yeah, that's probably all I got to say about that movie. Let's move on to a movie that everybody loves, John Wick, from 2014. Now, I had never seen these movies, any of the John Wick movies before. I watched the first one yesterday, and I'm planning on watching the second and the third this weekend probably, because it's streaming on Tubi, which is a free streaming service. This is an action movie starring Keanu Reeves about an assassin, or a former assassin, whose wife had just died, and then some dudes kill his dog, who his dead wife gave to him. So he goes on a revenge mission to kill every single one of them, and their entire organization, basically. Which is understandable. If someone killed my dog, I would do the same thing, I think. Yeah, this movie is widely regarded as one of the best action movies of all time, I would say. Maybe not one of the best action movies, but definitely regarded as having some of the best action scenes of all time, which I definitely agree with. The action scenes are all very well choreographed. Choreographed, yeah, that's the right word. Like, they're all just really entertaining to watch, and they're shot and edited well too. Usually, action movies have or action scenes have this problem of doing too quick cuts with like shaky cam, and so you can't understand what's happening in the scene basically. But I think John Wick does a good job at not doing that, so you can actually see what is going on in the scene, which is good. But yeah, a lot of gritty action scenes, gunfights. John Wick is not afraid to hold back and just kills like a ton of people in the most gruesome ways possible. Well, not gruesome, but you know, he like shoots them in the head and all that kind of stuff, which is, you know, again, understandable. If people killed your dog, you would do the same thing. The plot is pretty simple. Like, he's going on a revenge mission because they killed his dog is basically the entire plot. And I think it could have benefited from having a more complex plot. I don't really know what, but you know, I mean, they kind of do with the whole assassin organization and the Russian dudes but really it's just he's on a revenge mission the whole time is the whole plot. And I think if they turn it into more of a spy kind of thing, or I don't really know what I'm thinking of, like a James Bond type thing. Maybe not a James Bond type thing, but you know what I mean. Um, yeah. There's also a surprising amount of humor in this movie, which I appreciated. Like the Russian dude made me laugh a lot. There's a scene where he's calling some guy. He's like, "I heard you struck my son today. Can you tell me why?" And the guy he's talking to is like, "Yeah, because he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog." And the Russian dude's just like, "Oh," and it's in the funniest way possible. So yeah, good scene. Lots of good funny scenes, I think. Also, Hades is live now. Saps, if you want to go watch Hades instead. Actually, can you at least go check on them? Make sure they're building the casino for me. Just kidding, you don't have to. Maybe I'll do that in a bit. Anyway, back to John Wick. Let's see. Oh, hold on, wait, I forgot to play the game. Okay. Okay, thank you. Go check for me. But yeah, Keanu Reeves, honestly, I don't think his acting is that good in like any movie he's in. Even in The Matrix, he seems bland to me. I don't know why everyone loves him. And I know that's probably a controversial take, but I just don't think his acting is that good. I mean, the premise is emotional because, you know, his wife died and she gave him this dog and they killed his dog. So, you know, I can get behind the emotion there, but I never really felt the emotion from him. I guess his character is more of a guy who doesn't show emotion, so that's understandable, but I don't know. I just couldn't get behind his character. However, he did look and act like a badass in all of his action scenes. He's really cool in every scene he's in, just killing all those bad guys. Looks really cool, fights really cool, etc. So I will give him props for that. Hold on, Hades is calling me. I'll put him on speaker. Hello?
Hey Todd, it's me, your favorite friend.
Hey, what's up? I see you're streaming now.
Yeah.
I am also streaming now.
Wait, what?
I'm streaming too.
Oh shoot, I didn't know. Wait, what are you doing? Oh, you got Dance Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm doing my movie club stream. I'm playing Fall Guys also.
No, what is it? I was asking because what is it? It's not letting me into the realm. I was wondering.
It's not? It should be.
Yeah, no. Wait, you're doing John Wick today, right?
Yeah, I'm actually talking about it right now.
Oh my, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Wait, what's your first? Have you already set the score, or what's your personal score of it?
I have not said my score yet, but I'll say now I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Honestly, I was expecting to like it more. I thought I was going to give it like a 10. I don't think it was that good, but it was still really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I did a whole report on. I literally, what is it? I handed in a video essay for my film writing class over in so. Oh, I'm not gonna say that out loud. But yeah, okay, I'll let you get back to streaming.
Alright, is it letting you in the realm though?
Yeah, it's letting me in the realm. I'm good.
Okay, cool. Alright.
Okay, you have a good one. Bye.
See ya. That was funny. Well, they're trying to get on the realm, which means they are going to be building the casino, so that's good. Anyway, back to... I can't believe I survived in this minigame with one hand while I was talking to Hades. Anyway, just kidding, I just died after I had stopped talking to him. That's funny. Whatever. Wait, did it say I was eliminated? I think I died at the last second. No, I died. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, back to John Wick. Like I just said to Hades, I was expecting to like it a little more than I did. I thought it was going to be like really good, 10 out of 10. It wasn't that great because it was, you know, so simple, and I didn't really like Keanu Reeves acting, but still really good. And if you like action movies, you'll definitely like this movie. They actually released a trailer for John Wick Chapter 4 last week or a couple weeks ago or something, which comes out in May, I think, or it comes out next year at some point. So after I watch the 2 sequels, hopefully I will be hyped for the 4th one. I'm sure I will be. I love sequels. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, so yeah, the rest of the acting is good, besides Keanu Reeves. Willem Dafoe's in it, which is crazy. He's just in every movie for some reason. Um, cinematography is really good. There's a lot of really cool shots. The score is also good. It's lots of like electronic kind of sounding score, which is interesting for an action movie. Um, but it works really well, I think. Lots of like dubstep kind of stuff, high tech sounding music. So yeah, I don't know. If you like action movies, you really like it. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Um, and I think that's all I have to say about it, really. So let's move on to the next movie on the list, which is Legally Blonde, which is kind of like the polar opposite of John Wick, if you think about it. This is a comedy about, or it stars Reese Witherspoon, about this really popular sorority girl who decides she wants to go to law school. And she does it because she wants to follow her ex, who had just broken up with her, who's going to law school. But then as she's there, she's realizing that she actually likes it, and yeah, that's the premise of it. So it's actually a really interesting, unique premise, I think. Maybe not wouldn't be unique if it came out today, but I think this is one of the first movies to do something like that, and it works really well. I think the plot is pretty formulaic, I think, but it works very well. I was engaged the whole time, I think. Reese Witherspoon's acting is good, as this, seems like a clueless sorority girl, but she's actually really smart and really confident in herself, which is good. Honestly, she's a great role model for girls, I think, because you'd think she would be kind of like a dumb blonde, which is, the premise of the movie, basically, but she's not. She's actually, really smart. Just a really good character. And she looks out for her friends and works hard to get into Harvard because she was just in fashion school. So yeah, it's a good premise. It's iconic, which is the only reason I watched it. Like, because it's a chick flick, really. But I watched it because it's iconic. There's some, popular TikTok sounds. The "You're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde." That's from Legally Blonde. And everyone knows Legally Blonde is like a phrase, I guess, that people say now, kind of. So yeah, since it's iconic, I've been trying to watch, all the popular movies since, like, basically, when the pandemic started, I realized that I have never seen a lot of really popular movies. Like, I had never seen Jaws, I had never seen Jurassic Park, I had never seen The Matrix, I had never seen lots of other movies that everyone has seen, and everyone would always make fun of me for it, especially because I was going to school for film, like a film production school. So when the pandemic started, I was like, you know what? I have a lot of time. I'm gonna watch as many popular movies as possible. So since then, March 2020 is when I started. Actually, my count just reached 400 movies yesterday when I watched John Wick. I have watched 400 new movies. There's a couple movies I rewatched, so I didn't count those. But 400 first watch movies I have seen since March of 2020, so it only took 2.5 years, maybe a little bit more than that, to watch all 400 movies, which is crazy. Unfortunately, I could not do a movie every day. I mean, I kind of did when the pandemic started, but then once things went back to normal, sort of, I had less time, so I did not have time to watch movies every day. But I still watch movies as often as I can. I have this big list of movies to watch that I still haven't finished, but I made that list 2.5 years ago. And Legally Blonde was on that list because it's an iconic movie. So I'm trying to watch all the iconic, popular movies. John Wick was on that list. Hang on a second. I'm getting a text from my boss. Oh, they just, man, this always happens to me on that world. Boss texted me. Let me see. I gotta look at this. Sounds good. Sorry, I'm kind of a supervisor at my job now, so I kind of have to like pay attention to things when my boss texts me. Anyway, it's not that important, but not important. Like, I don't have to leave right now. But anyway, all right. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, trying to watch all the iconic movies. I did watch Jaws and Jurassic Park. Those were some of the first ones I watched, and The Matrix. I watched most of the iconic pop culture movies now, but there's still some I haven't seen, like John Wick I hadn't seen. I would say those are iconic movies. So I'm finally crossing those off this week. I gotta watch Transformers at some point. I gotta watch Fast and Furious movies. Star Trek, I guess I wouldn't really call iconic, but those are still on my list. And there's also some other various movies that I gotta watch. Why was I talking about that? Oh, right. I was trying to give a reasonable explanation for why I was watching Legally Blonde, because it's a chick flick. But men can watch chick flicks too. Honestly, there are some chick flicks I really like Mamma Mia, really good movie. I also just like musicals though, and that's a musical too, so that's probably why. But Mean Girls is really good. That's a chick flick, I think. I don't know if that's really considered a chick flick. It's more of a parody of a chick flick, actually. Or no, maybe I'm thinking of Heathers as the parody of the chick flick. Pitch Perfect is pretty good, but that's also another musical. So yeah, I'm just outing myself as someone who likes chick flicks now. No, but those are really the only ones I've seen. Legally Blonde, Mean Girls, Pitch Perfect, and Mamma Mia. I don't know how many of those you would actually consider chick flicks, but I really like all those movies. Legally Blonde, acting is good. It's mildly funny. Didn't make me laugh as much as I'm sure it would make some people laugh. Not really my type of humor, but you know, I chuckled every once in a while. Let's see. You know, it's predictable, but still works well. I actually felt happy for what's her name? Elle Woods is her character's name. I felt happy for her character at the end when she graduated and gave that speech. And yeah, it's a good movie, so I would recommend it. It's iconic, so why not watch it? Oh, I was about to win that. I don't really have much to say about it besides all that. You know, it was kind of a short review when I wrote my review. But good movie. I gave it a 7 out of 10 overall. You know, worth a watch if you know, are bored one day. This was also streaming on Showtime, but it's probably streaming other places too. It's a iconic movie. This came out in 2001, by the way, which is the year I was born. Not that that means anything. I just thought that was interesting to note. So yeah, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Better Off Dead, I gave it a 6 out of 10. John Wick, an 8 out of 10. And Legally Blonde, a 7 out of 10. So all very different scores. Well, not very different. We went 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last movie I have to talk about is Weird Al. Or it's called Weird the Al Yankovic Story. And you know, I just said I gave a 7, 8, 9. Or 6, 7, 8, 9, so you would think this would be a 10, but no, it's not a 10. I don't know why I was building it up like that. But this movie is still pretty good. This is a parody of a musical biopic, but it's also a musical biopic about Weird Al. So it parodies musical biopics while also being a musical biopic about Weird Al, starring Daniel Radcliffe, and it came out on the Roku channel for some reason, which I know a lot of people have Rokus, but like, I have never once watched the Roku channel before this, because, you know, it's not really a movie streaming service that I think about ever. It's not one of the big ones like Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, even Paramount Plus and Peacock I think of more than Roku, and Roku's probably been around longer, I think. I don't know, for some reason Roku's just not a movie or not a streaming service I think of. And then when I heard that this movie was coming out on Roku, I was like, huh, that's weird. But, you know, I've I like Daniel Radcliffe. Obviously, he's only known for Harry Potter these days, and I like him in those movies. And I had heard some of Weird Al's song parodies growing up. I know I'm not a huge Weird Al fan, but I've heard some of his songs, so basically I was mildly interested in seeing this because I know Daniel Radcliffe and I know of Daniel Radcliffe and know of Weird Al. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. And my roommate wanted to watch it too, so that's why we watched it. Um, and it's a really funny movie actually. I don't think I was expecting it to be a parody. Did that dude just cheat? Whatever. I don't think I was expecting it to be a parody. Maybe I was. I don't know. But it was really funny in the way it satirizes musical biopics, especially because I had just watched 3 different musical biopics recently this year. I watched Elvis, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, and I watched Rocket Man. If you remember that movie club episode, I talked about all 3 of those movies and the similarities and differences between them. So Weird Al is clearly making fun of those movies, which I think is really funny. But it also happens to be one of the things it's making fun of, I guess. Dude, this guy is bad at this game. Anyway, sorry, back to Weird Al. So yeah, it's basically about Weird Al, his life growing up and his career highs and lows. Some of it is just straight up lies. Like there's a scene where he and Madonna go and kill Pablo Escobar, which sounds ridiculous, but it's really funny. Obviously, it didn't happen in real life, but yeah, there's a lot of scenes where they just make stuff up, or they just completely lie. Like they claim that his parody of "Beat It" by Michael Jackson, called "Eat It," they claim that "Eat It" came first, which I think is really funny. There's a lot of scenes where they're like, "I can't believe Michael Jackson parodied my song," and I thought that was funny because obviously it's not the case. But then it's also kind of like, well, is any of this true at all then? Because there are some scenes where it seems genuine, where he's getting inspiration to come up with his parodies. Like the first scene, or the first parody he made, which is My Bologna. They're listening to My Sharona on the radio, and then his friend is like, make me a sandwich in My Bologna. And then, so, I don't know if that's actually true or not. It probably is, but also the rest of this movie is so out of pocket, I guess, like so bizarre. And it's like we don't know if any of this is actually true or not. Like in this movie, a big portion of it is Weird Al and Madonna being in a relationship. I don't think that ever happened in real life. Maybe it did. I didn't actually do my research, but so they just make up a lot of random stuff. But it manages to be funny. Like everybody and I were laughing like the entire time, basically. Because there's scenes where they act over the top. There's some, of course, the lies, the random stuff happening. They assassinate him at the end of the movie, which is pretty funny. There's a scene where he's a kid, and his mom is just like, "Son, we thought it would be best if you just didn't, or if you weren't yourself and didn't do what you loved." And she said it in a really serious way, which is hilarious. So yeah, it's a really funny movie, and you will definitely like it if you're a big Weird Al fan. I'm not a big Weird Al fan, but I still enjoyed it. A casual viewer can still laugh at it. I was again laughing many times in this movie. And yeah, it's a smart satire, I would say. Daniel Radcliffe also puts on a phenomenal performance. He's only known for Harry Potter, so it's good that he is finally getting roles that are not just Harry Potter. I mean, I know he has been in other movies. He was in, what's it called? Swiss Army Man, which I have not seen. He's in a movie, The Lost City, that came out this year. He was pretty good in that. But still, every time you see him, you're like, wow, it's Harry Potter. He's not known for anything else. And I feel like this movie, Weird Al, is a performance that he can actually be remembered for. Obviously, he'll still probably only be known as Harry Potter, but people won't forget about this performance like they probably have about some of his other movies. Like, he's kind of forgettable in The Lost City. I haven't seen Swiss Army Man, but I didn't know he was in that until my roommate pointed it out. So I don't know. I think it's good that he is getting more roles, and hopefully will be well known for those as well. Um, oh, also, there's a lot of celebrity cameos in this movie, which are hilarious. Jack Black is in it. Conan O'Brien is in it. Um, Daniel Dastmalchian is in it. Lin-Manuel Miranda is in it. Rainn Wilson, well, he's more of a not a cameo. He's actually like a main character, is in it. Um, Weird Al himself cameos in it as a producer who um, turns down Weird Al, which is really funny because he is Weird Al. So that's funny. Um, and yeah, there's just a lot of celebrity cameos, and those are always funny to see. So they make me laugh. Um, and yeah, it's a funny movie. But honestly, besides that, all the funniness and Daniel Radcliffe's performance, besides all that, the movie doesn't really have much going for it. Um, I guess some of the technical aspects are kind of cool, but it's not like not a phenomenal movie that I would choose to watch again. I don't think. It, it definitely, if you're a Weird Al fan, I think you will love it, and a casual viewer can laugh at it too. But I don't know, just not that great. Like I don't think. I mean, maybe it's probably in the top 15 maybe movies that I have seen this year, but that's because I haven't seen a lot of good movies this year. So, um, but it's good. I give it a 7 out of 10. Same score as Legally Blonde, but probably better than Legally Blonde maybe. I don't really know. You can't really compare movies like that because they're completely different. Um, but yeah, Weird Al. Or it's called Weird the Al Yankovic Story, which is funny. I think they should just call it the Weird Al movie. It's a good movie. So, we talked about, what did we talk about today? We talked about Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which I gave a 9 out of 10. Definitely would recommend it. We talked about Better Off Dead, a comedy, which I gave a 6 out of 10. Probably wouldn't recommend that, but it's funny, so if you want to laugh, maybe you should watch it. We talked about John Wick, a very good action movie, which we gave an 8 out of 10. We talked about Legally Blonde, a comedy chick flick, which is iconic, which I gave it a 7 out of 10. And we talked about Weird Al, which is a parody of a musical biopic, which I gave a 7 out of 10 as well. Those are the only 5 movies I watched. I'm back. I think Hades is building the casino. At least they're at the casino. That's good. I'm about to actually go check on them because I have finished up here with Movie Club. So I'm going to actually leave Fall Guys and get on the Realm and see what they're doing for a few minutes. Let's see. Yeah, because I got about 9 minutes before I can end because I have to. Well, I don't have to stream for about an hour, but if I want to get my amount of ads in there, then yeah. So let's go check on them. Or maybe it should be a surprise. I don't know. Are they in Discord? Maybe I'll just join that instead and talk to them. They're not in the Discord. Well, we'll check on them then. Why not? Sorry if I start to lag randomly. This happens when I open up Minecraft. It's loading. Anyway, while I wait for this to load, next Movie Club episode will probably be in 2 weeks, maybe. Not entirely sure. I might wait a little bit longer to watch more movies. Unsure. The next Radish SMP stream, oh, I'm lagging now, is going to be Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're back to Sundays for Radish SMP. And yeah, next Wednesday I'm going to stream something else, some other game probably. Don't know what yet. But yeah, we'll stream something else. Ooh, I'm still lagging. Usually I stop lagging by the time Minecraft opens. Hello? Am I good now? I don't think I am good. That's weird. Well, let me just pull up Minecraft. Oh, is it working now? It's not. Why is it not working? Hang on, screen capture, Minecraft, done. No, it doesn't want to work. Why doesn't it want to work? Okay, well, the round was still loading anyway. I think, oh, maybe it's having problems. I mean, that Hades did say they were having, oh no, here I am. Okay. Are you gonna work now? No? Dude. Okay, there we go. I am here to check on you real quick. Usually I do not go in the Radish SMP while I am doing movie club, but we must check. Oh wait, let me sleep because it's getting dark. Get me more quartz. Right now? I'm not getting you more quartz right now, but I will. Take a block for the walls. Okay. Let me go fast over there. Look at the dome. Alright, hang on. Hang on. I did see some of what they were doing when I was watching their stream. Ooh. Interesting. I see, yeah. Okay. This is all the quartz that we had like 20 different um 20 stacks of quartz blocks and they used all of it. I mean, I guess it is a lot of quartz. So that's understandable. All right. Well, I'll get more quartz off stream, obviously, and then I got to pick a block for the walls. What block would look good in here? I don't know. What block would look good on the walls? Not deep slate? I mean, that's what it is down here, but maybe they're changing it. Also, interior or exterior walls? Question mark. Oh, probably interior because there's deep slate on the exterior. Oh. Where the cobble is. Okay, yeah. Let me think. What would look good? Let me go into creative mode. I'm not gonna actually grab anything. I just want to check and see what would look good. Pure diamonds, maybe? No. Maybe, let's see. Wood? No, I don't know. Blackstone, maybe. No, because it's already deep slate. It's probably got a contrast with that. Concrete, maybe. Well, we already used concrete for the pillars. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'll come up with it off stream. Let me go back into survival mode. But let me end my stream right now because it's been long enough. So, thank you all for watching. That was a quick Radish SMP segment of Movie Club. But I hope you all enjoyed Movie Club, talking about those movies. Next stream, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, will be on Radish SMP again. Hopefully the casino will be done by then and we'll have it working. Then next Wednesday we'll be streaming something else. Don't know what, some other game. And then in 2 weeks we will be streaming Movie Club again. So, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to follow everywhere on social media, Radishologist. And this full VOD will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Or today for you now if you're watching this right now. Yeah, cool. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. See you next time.